वो टेलीवाइड करते लेकिन ऐसे करके
It's an absolute honor to welcome you all to the third South Asian Aging Network Research Symposium and Knowledge Exchange meeting. Today we have gathered here as a researcher, practitioner, policy maker and a stakeholder to explore the solution and to share our insight on a topic that affects us all and to discuss the aging scenario in a collaborative countries of the network.
As we all know that today's symposium revolves around the various aspects of aging. Over the course of the day, we aim to deepen our understanding on the challenges and opportunities in aging research and policy development, fostering collaborations across borders.
As we embark this journey of knowledge today, it's an age-old Indian tradition to begin any auspicious day with lighting of ceremonial lamp. To perform this honored ritual, I am privileged to invite our chief guest, Dr. Kumar sir, and host of the meeting, Dr. Shivani Chandri ma'am, to light the lamp. Please, sir, ma'am, join us.
Please.
This research symposium and knowledge exchange meeting, may I request our beloved supervisor, our mentor, and our soul motivator, Dr. Shivani Chandri ma'am, host of the meeting, to please deliver the opening remark. Thank you.
Very good morning and a warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of the absolute honor to welcome you all to the third SageNet International meeting. It is a privilege to host such a distinguished gathering of researchers from around the world, all united by a shared commitment to advancing the understanding of healthy aging. This event marks an incredible opportunity to exchange ideas, foster collaborations, and explore innovative solutions to the challenges posed by aging populations worldwide. As we navigate these discussions, let us be inspired by the collective expertise and passion present in this room. We hope you find this meeting not only intellectually enriching, but also an opportunity to forge lasting connections. Thank you for being here and contributing your valuable insights to this important cause. Let us together build a future where healthy aging is a reality for all. Welcome once again, and I wish you a productive and memorable meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Insights of valid projects for today's discussion. Now, I again would like to request our ma'am to kindly welcome our chief guest, Dr. Kumar sir.
What a better way to begin this elderly meet by honoring our elder. It is one of the best way we can honor our elders who can bless us every day. And to begin with, I would just like to give a brief note of Dr. Vinod sir. Professor Vinod Kumar was senior consultant in medicine, a former professor of medicine and head of geriatric clinic at All India Medical Sciences, AIMS, Delhi. He has a long-standing passion and experience in geriatric medicine and aging, a discipline he helped establish in India. He was appointed by WHO Geneva as advisor on aging and health for 10 years, formerly a president of Geriatric Society of India and president emeritus of Alzheimer's and Related Disorders Society of India. Professor Kumar has many achievements to his credit. He is a winner of Lifetime Achievement Awards from Government of India in 2011, Government of Delhi in 2023, AIMS in 2021, Indian Aging Congress in 2004, Master Teacher Award He has been consulted to Indian government of Delhi, and to foreign governments of Mongolia and Iran. He holds the distinction of having published 3 books and over 200 papers, and have also trained and mentored at least 100 postgraduate medical students after his formal retirement from AIMS. Thank you so much, sir, for taking some time out and great this interview. I welcome you all guys for your words of wisdom.
I will be quite informed. First and foremost, Professor Madam Shivani Chandel for having invited me to this event. I would like to say here that I am very grateful and also delighted to be a part of this great academic event which is close to my heart. Second thing is, I cherish my presence here for 2 reasons. One is that this is my own alma mater. I was a student of Delhi University only 70 years before. And the second thing is that I was trained in England only 60 years before. And I find some guests from England, and I met someone just now who told me that he had been to King's College, to Price College, and I reminded him that I had been trained at all these colleges at that time. I even knew the address of King's College, and I told him, is it still situated there? He said, yes. So, these are the reasons that I am particularly overjoyed to be here amongst you, and it is always a pleasure for me to be talking with younger crowds. After my retirement at the age of 60, that was 27 years before, I worked in a hospital for 22 years, where my main responsibility was to mentor and teach the MBBS students for their 3 years specialty training course. And I came in very close contact with each one of them. Each one of them used to visit my home, either for the sake of thesis or for other official purposes. But I came in a very close contact with these students even after retirement for another 22 years. And that gave me inner joy. And I am happy to tell you that they have designed a photo directory in which there is name, contact details, and current position they are holding for 152 students. And we are going to have, we often have alumni of these students, and now next alumni will happen on 21st of December. And I enjoy fortunately a special status among my students even now. Now coming to this event, I personally think that at least this is my perception, that your deliberations will most likely revolve around those subjects who suffer from cognitive impairment and physical frailty. And in this process, I feel that while discussing the complexities of the science of cognitive frailty, you will advertently or inadvertently step into the broad umbrella of aging and its various concerns. And also most likely you will be talking about umpteen number of interventions which are approaches to healthy aging. I think it is a dream for everyone in this world to remain young as long as we can. That is of course my dream, and I am sure it is the dream of everyone. So this is what I feel that you are going to discuss. What I want to informally talk to you today is not everything about cognitive frailty, but something else also about the scenario, global as well as Indian. And to begin with, I would like to point out that India, being a vast country, it houses about 150 million older adults. Those above the age of 60. Here we accept the WHO definition, 60 years as a cutoff for older people, and we are having about 140 to 150 million older adults. This is a population larger than that of many countries. And to give you an idea how rapidly this population segment is increasing, if you talk of projections between year 2000 and 2050, the general population will increase in these 50 years to the extent of only 55% as far as this country is concerned. But those above 60 will rise to 325% during the same period. And 80 plus will be the quickest to rise. They will rise to 700%. So this is the scenario, very rapid population explosion as far as the elderly people are concerned. This is true of many countries. And in 2050, we will have 1 out of every 5 people being 60 years or older. Of course, in Japan it will be 3 out of 5. In South Korea it might be 2 out of 5. But we are not so much lagging behind. So if you are sitting in a bus after another 25 years, you will find that in that bus of 60 passengers, there will be at least 12 with grey hair. So this is the scenario we are going to face in near future. So this is a triumph of mankind, but it is also throwing challenges of aging. The other side of the story is that while in countries like England and France, the doubling of life expectancy took 100 years to reach. But the same phenomenon of doubling of life expectancy in countries like India and China took just 30 years. It's another evidence of accelerated population aging. And we are not prepared to combat the challenging concerns of aging in such a short time. We are already resource-crunch countries, at least we have been. Now, gradually we are progressing in our economic status also. But this is what was happening. So, we came across a phenomenon called poverty of aging, particularly when it applies to women who outnumber the men in old age. It is feminization of poverty. So this is the other side of the story. I have something else to tell you about this, and that is that as Indians, we are never late to start as far as this and many other aspects of life are concerned. In reference to some of the guests who have come from England, I would like to say that let's say 100 or 150 years before, all pervasive prevailing ideas that were floating around all over the world, it was aptly and proverbially quoted by your two-time Prime Minister, Sir Benjamin Disraeli, who lived from 1804 to 1881. He quoted, and I quote, youth is a blunder. Manhood is a struggle of life and old age is regret. That is what he said 150 years before. But now, this is trend refuted. Now the things are different. And India is no exception to the rest of the world. And today we can say that youth is not blunder, youth is the fountain of strength. Manhood is no longer a struggle of life, it also is a lesson of life. And old age is no longer regret, it is an opportunity never seen before. So, this is the change that has taken place over the last 100 years. So many changes in the realm of aging have been under our own eyes. Having said that, there are few things that I have noted that I thought I will briefly talk to you about your subject also. And the point that I have jotted down here for conversation is the first United Nations General Assembly on Aging was held in 1982. And Indian stakeholders gave the comments that we have no problem of old age. Aged people are completely and entirely looked after by their own families. So we don't have to do much. That was 1982. Then the second Assembly on Aging took place in 2002 in Madrid, Spain. These prevailing concepts of Indian demographers and Indian geriatricians changed. The aging population increased, challenges came face to face, and our perceptions changed. And then what happened? Lots of new initiatives were taken up. Demographers, sociologists, psychologists, medical experts, and many other stakeholders started jumping into this field and took up lots of initiatives. In hospitals and medical colleges, geriatric clinics started getting established. Geriatric departments, full-fledged departments, they started mushrooming. And today we have many medical colleges who have full-fledged geriatric medicine departments. Thanks to big footfall of older people who are coming in search of medical care and health care. And today we are happy to also tell you that there are 3 multidisciplinary national centers of aging situated in 3 major cities of India. One is in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, where I worked during my lifetime. Second is in Chennai, another big city. And third is Varanasi. These institutions are multi-storied. The one in Delhi is 9-story block. People who are thronging for healthcare there, they appear to be satisfied. So all these things have happened during this last 30-40 years. And I had the privilege or opportunity to have started this discipline in All India Institute of Medical Sciences in a very small manner. After my retirement, it expanded like anything. My successors have worked very hard and brought this discipline to the level that we see today. Internationally, World Health Organization also helped us to understand the various patterns and problems of aging. WHO picked up few Indian experts for multiple visits to different countries, for understanding the cross-cultural aspects of aging, and nationally also the Government of India and many state governments took the important initiatives towards the health and social care of elderly people. National Program for the Health Care of the Elderly, NPHCE, is a flagship program of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which established an architectural framework for the care of elderly across all the districts, almost all the districts of India, and through the length and breadth of urban and rural landscape. Today, every nook and corner, there is a nucleus in the form of sub-centers, now known as health and wellness centers, primary health centers, taluka hospitals, district hospitals, medical colleges, regional geriatric medical center, and the apical institutes, the three multidisciplinary national center meetings that I just talked about. So this is a flagship program. Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment of the Government of India is now the nodal ministry for the welfare of aged people. And it looks after multifactorial challenges and offers solutions to the problems of senior citizens. So health is mainly the responsibility of Ministry of Health, but the rest of the big scenario, that is welfare of elderly, is the baby of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. In addition to the government initiatives, numerous non-government organizations have sprung up, working at the grassroots level and offering their support for the same noble cause of elderly care. Now, if you ask me to count 9 or 10 common disorders that happen in old age, you will find both cognitive impairment and frailty make up to this list. And just for the sake of remembrance, I will narrate these disorders alphabetically. A for Alzheimer's disease, including the cognitive impairment. Although cognitive frailty does exclude by definition the dementia, but dementia, early dementia, cognitive impairment is a part of the whole spectrum. So A for Alzheimer's disease, B for brain stroke, C for cancer, D for diabetes, E for essential high blood pressure, F for frailty, G for geriatric infection, H for heart disease, and I for injuries and fractures. So both cognitive impairment and frailty are a part of these 10 common disorders. But both cognitive impairment and frailty have something special. And these are the slow creepers, they are the hidden creepers. When they have invaded the human being, the human being doesn't even realize that it has been invaded by a slow creeper until it assumes the advanced proportions. So what you are going to discuss is something very important: cognitive impairment and physical frailty, and together cognitive frailty. That's very important. Now the second question which comes to us: are we to prevent and treat these and many other disorders, or should we strike at the root cause of these disorders, which is aging? If you keep on permitting these disorders to keep coming up in larger proportion in any population, no government will be able to afford financially to look after these people with tertiary care. So, the golden principle is prevention. And how do you prevent? You prevent by healthy aging. You have to create workable approaches towards healthy aging. That doesn't mean that if somebody has a disease, you will not treat, you will still treat, but try to reduce the burden in the years to come. So now I dwell upon what is healthy aging, and I find in your abstract there are presentations who will be talking about healthy aging. Now, healthy aging approaches, I would like to divide into two. One is the visible approaches to healthy aging, the other is the invisible approach to healthy aging. What are the visible approaches to healthy aging? Eating properly, exercising well, busting stress, sleeping soundly, quitting smoking, avoiding alcoholism. These are the visible approaches, every doctor knows it. But practicing and preaching are different. Anyway, as a doctor, we keep on repeating it and we try to convince the public, and many do, others do not. It all depends on so many factors. There are socio-economic factors, there are awareness factors, there are educational level, so many things. So, you know that in many countries, the driver of many of these diseases is obesity. The food which is available in our country, in many other countries, is in abundance. When we are born, our parents will start pampering us with a lot of ice creams, junk food. When I was born, my parents didn't have money. So, I was fortunate to be on limited diet, whatever could be afforded at that time. India had not been partitioned. World War II had not begun when I was born. So many things were there, but we were still happy. Maybe we were happier than what we are today. So this was the scenario. So now the food is abundant everywhere, at least except in those countries which are low income countries. So obesity has overtaken the population, and this is the driver of many age-related, lifestyle-related disorders, many of which I have named just now. So these visible approaches, I have nothing else to tell you. I am not going to tell you that what proteins you should have and what kind of exercises you should do, what do you do to bust your stress, how do you sleep well. That's purely a medical issue. But I will talk about the invisible approaches to healthcare. What are these invisible approaches to healthy aging? The first one, which directly concerns today's deliberations and tomorrow's deliberations too. This is brain challenging. We should keep challenging our brain. There is a proverb in English about the brain: use it or lose it. Right? You must have heard it. So we have to keep using our brain. There are many ways of using the brain, and we start emphasizing on both elder people and all those people who are going to become old tomorrow, middle-aged people, that if you are old, you should not just retire doing nothing. You should continue working. And your brain gets stimulated. Specifically, you can accomplish certain jobs. For example, you learn a new language, you deliver and listen to new lectures. I am stimulating my brain now, and you are also stimulating your brain by listening to me so carefully. So there are so many ways to stimulate. Now you suppose you go and buy a piece of furniture. Now these furnitures are now sold to you as a packed furniture. You bring it home and you unpack it, and then you have to assemble the furniture yourself. When you assemble the furniture, you have to apply your mind. Which one will fit with which one panel and all that kind of thing. So do it yourself. If you have grandchildren in your home, many of the families are still joint families, but not everyone is lucky. All my children and grandchildren, they are abroad, so I have to fend myself. But those who have grandchildren making noise in the household, that's something very fortunate. You befriend the grandchildren. Grandchildren are very, very valuable asset for any grandparent. I heard some grandman saying in a symposium, had I known that grandchildren are so wonderful, I would have gone for them first. So that kind of love and affection you have. So when you befriend grandchildren, you storytell them, you play with them, they run and they make you a little bit run also. It is quite useful from social angle as well as playing indoor games with them stimulates your brain. Gardening, planting a garden is also good. Even cutting jokes, laughing is something good. Imbibe a new language is good. So there are so many ways of brain stimulation. So brain challenging is something very important. And if you are doing it, you are definitely delaying the onset of cognitive impairment, and also you are delaying the onset of physical frailty. So that is about the brainstorming, which is important. And in relation to brainstorming, I will just tell you one thing which you might have already heard. There are certain people who in their 80s or 90s, they have cognitive skills equivalent to those who are 30 years younger than them. We call these people as super agers. Have you heard this term, super agers? So super agers. Now these super agers, how do they become super agers? Nobody knows, but they are under a scientific scrutiny in many countries. What makes a person super ager? There may be a genotype as a cause of it, but there are many phenotypes also. There are many lifestyle factors. In their midlife, they might have been engaged in physical activity. They have better resilience. They do understand the meaning of life. They have less of sleep problems. Some of them have parental longevity as well, so some genetic factor may also be there. So I think it is a matter to investigate and find out what causes superaging. Because if you do find and unravel the cause of superaging, it might offer you a therapeutic key to apply the required interventions to normal agers who do not have the skills of superaging. Let me give you some examples of superagers. The legendary author Ruskin Bond, number one. Number two, the great philanthropist Warren Buffett in US. the first woman on American Supreme Court, Sandra O'Connor. The special horror. This man is 102-year-old who wrote his memoirs from his own age of 7 years purely on the basis of his memory. And in India, I regard one great lawyer, Mr. Ram Jethmalani, who was a super-ager, he is no more. He used to exercise and play badminton at the age of 94. So these are the examples of super-agers, some of them that I could recollect. So this is about the brain generation. The second is social enrichment, which is also a relatively invisible approach to healthy aging. Keeping socialized behaviors, having a depth of relationship with your friends, relatives and dear ones will go and stand in a good stead for healthy aging. It has a hormonal basis. It depends on a hormone called oxytocin, which is nicknamed as cuddle hormone, love hormone, trust hormone, romance hormone. There are so many names of it. So social enrichment is also very important. And in the medical jargon, the benefits of social interaction are equivalent to those of smoking cessation and obesity reduction. So that is the second invisible. The third is our attitude to aging. People who are less educated or people who are in rural areas, people who depend on their family member beyond a certain extent, they develop what is called fatalistic attitude. They think our time is coming. So everything they suffer from, they think it is all because of age, nothing can be done. And unfortunately, when they go to a doctor for these complaints, if ever, the doctor is also fatalistic. He says everything is because of aging, don't worry. This is I think, an unfair approach both by the elderly people with a fatalistic attitude and by their care provider who corroborates their impression. In fact, some researchers have gone on to such an extent by saying that aging is nothing. It is 80% attitude and only 20% everything else. I think this is an overstatement, but I'm trying to bring home this point that attitude is important. And someone rightly said, aging is a matter of mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So that is about the attitude. And the fourth one, the most important one, is exploiting your sixth sense. What is this sixth sense? Nature has given us 5 senses. 2 T's, 2 S and 1 H. 2 T's is touch and taste, 2 S is sight and smell, and H is hearing. These are the 5 senses through which we perceive ourselves and we perceive the others. But there is a 6th sense. And what is the 6th sense? The 6th sense is partly cognition, partly non-cognition. 6th sense is what is happening around us, how the others are conducting towards you and how you are conducting towards others. It doesn't come through eyes, it doesn't come through the ears, it doesn't come through the tongue, it doesn't come through any other organic sense. It just comes by feeling. So I would call this a spiritual sense. Spiritual sense. I always find difficulty in defining and explaining the spirituality. But spirituality comes through something which is non doesn't exist in the body, and that is mind. There is no structure in our body which you can call mind. There is a brain. Brain is a structure, but mind is not a structure. Mind is unlimited, equivalent to universe. So this is important. If somebody practices spirituality not purely in the form of religion or faith, but there are many uncounted features of spirituality which a man can practice and achieve and aspire for healthy aging. In my opinion, a human can practice this sixth sense of spirituality at 4 levels. And I will stop after telling you these 4 levels. The first level is intrapersonal, within you and within me. What is that intrapersonal spirituality? Is inculcating ethical conduct, inculcating a large number of spiritual traits like forgiveness, optimism, resilience, gratitude, introspection, or veneration and empathy, and many others, of course. Love, affection, so many things they come under it. So you can inculcate. God has given to every human being these spiritual traits. One can strengthen them by vehicles like meditation, yoga, vegetarianism, and so many things. That is intrapersonal. Interpersonal spirituality is same thing what I told you just now. Forging long-term relationship and goodwill with your friends, with your peers, with your colleagues. You are all sitting here. After 60 years, you will only look for these people. You will not look for people whom you made friends just 2 years before. When COVID was there, only 3 years back, my full-time job was to call people whom I had studied in Delhi University 70 years ago. Because these are your real friends. So this gives you a lot of satisfaction as a healthy aging initiative. Social bonding. So after attitude, social bonding and brain stimulation, the fourth one I am already telling you is about 2 levels of spirituality, intra and interpersonal. The third level is environmental. What is environmental? Now environmental, many of the environmental practices that a man can do are effective through non-cognitive pathways also. Therefore, they can be applied even to the advanced dementia patient who has lost his cognition. You can apply. What are those? Now these are through you look for symbols of your faith. Christ, a Christian can see a symbol, a cross symbol. A Hindu can see the Om symbol. A Sikh can see Udayana symbol, Gurmukhi symbol. So a dementia patient, if you are as a part of your caregiving, you show these symbols, he feels satisfied. He recognizes those symbols, although he might have lost his cognition. Similarly, if a caregiver takes a dementia patient outside to the nature, near the mountains, near the water bodies, show the sunrise, show the sun setting, if mild, sunny weather, this will be good for a dementia patient. He does it to the non-cognitive. Smelling a incense stick, dubaki. This is also a non-cognitive pathway which a dementia patient, certainly an early cognitive impaired patient, can experience it. If he is advanced enough, his caregiver can make him experience it. Similarly, a gentle touch by somebody, if a healthcare provider gives a gentle touch to an elderly patient who is in some kind of distress, that's good. Now, then the last one is what is called the contemplation. So interpersonal, environmental, and transcendental. So this is something non-human. A human being can connect with something non-human. What is that something non-human? That could be cosmos, universe, God, nature, and so on, and go into the contemplation. In India we call it yoga. In China it is called Tai Chi. In Japan it is called Zen. In Korea it is called Qigong. So many things are there. So I think what I have tried to pass the message is a little bit of journey of geriatrics in our country, the scenario here, how we are projecting ourselves in this field, and what are the aging concerns, being a triumph and challenge both, and various interventions of healthy aging. And these healthy aging interventions, when they are specifically tailored for people with specific morbidities like cognitive frailty, they will work. I have just told you in general manner, but everything can be tailored according to the disorder that you are discussing and deliberating. So with this, I would like to extend my grateful thanks for asking me to come, and as my duty, I am happy to inaugurate this symposium. Thank you.